As many of you know, my name is Michael McCall. I'm a former selectman here in Chelmsford and a current town meeting representative in Precinct 3. I've lived my life in this town, and I know the challenges that have been facing this town for the last 40 years and the impact that cuts in local aid have had on our economy here, as well as our schools, our public safety, and the character and integrity and the quality of life in our community. We have an opportunity this fall with an open seat in the 2nd Middlesex District to elect a true leader, someone who's had experience in the public, private sector, demonstrated character and integrity, someone who knows the importance of increasing local aid for our schools, for our public safety, someone who's had world experience as a leader and a manager, someone who I think will represent Chelmsford the best on this coming election to take us forward, to bring local aid back to the community, to help us work down in Beacon Hill to strive the changes that we need to make a better life not only for us in Chelmsford but in the great Commonwealth of Massachusetts. That's why this fall I'm endorsing Paul Avella, who's standing right here with me, a decorated veteran, a member of the Littleton School Committee, and a fellow resident of Massachusetts who I think will make the best candidate in this election and the best state representative in this district. Paul, I'm happy to be supporting you this fall.
Thanks very much, Mike. Appreciate that.
Yes.
And I'm Eric Dahlberg, a current member of the Board of Selectmen here in Chelmsford. I'm supporting Paul because, having reviewed his record, I think that the one word that sums up Paul is the word courage. Take one look and I'm sure you'll agree. Whether it's in the military, at diplomatic hotspots all over the world, on the Littleton School Committee, and having the courage to run, at the time, the only candidate to run against a sitting state representative. He announced he was running before Rep. Hall announced he was retiring. That's the kind of courage I want representing Chelmsford on Beacon Hill. That's why I'm proud to support Paul Avella for state rep. Thanks, Paul.
Eric, thanks very much. And it is important here as we stand in Chelmsford, but the entire 2nd Middlesex District, and the improvements that we need, not only for the district, but it's going to affect our 3 towns, Littleton, Westford, and Chelmsford, and it's going to help us across the state also, as we start to make some improvements in what we have to do. When we look at what the economy is doing, irrespective of what's going on the national level, we already had problems here in Massachusetts. We're 49th in the nation in jobs. We're #1 in state debt per person. These are things that need to be fixed, should have been fixed previously. We see a budget that had a structural deficit of $1 billion before it was even passed. Nevertheless, the legislature still passed it, sent it to the governor for his signature, became law, and here we are now, at the beginning of October, and we're seeing nearly $250 million in the first quarter alone of revenue, well below forecast. That $1 billion is going to come back to haunt us, and there's going to be severe cuts, and again, that's even before some of the national issues are taken into effect. Some of the very important things, though, that are near and dear to our district, certainly local aid parity. It doesn't exist. Chapter 70 funding is broken. The formula does not work. That's known on Beacon Hill. It's not a secret to anybody. Nevertheless, the move to go forward and fix that formula has not happened. That is something I'm committed to doing. We're here in the town of Chelmsford. As you folks know, it's been broken up to 4 different districts. That's something the legislature could have done to any of our towns, is just to chop them up and make them, in essence, disenfranchised so that the people's voice is not heard. I will not tolerate that. I'm committed to working to make Chelmsford a whole district once again. So we're going to work towards that to get representation, because all of our towns deserve a good, solid representation, and then across the district. Now, I've got that ability to represent across a broad-based district, though. Given my background, broad, diverse, international, business, military, civic. I've experienced leadership, I've demonstrated it, and I want to be able to continue, and I want to continue in service, as I served 32 years in the United States Air Force around the world, as I serve today in the town of Littleton on various committees, to include the school committee. I want to serve our district, serve our towns, and continue to make our Commonwealth the best possible location to live, not only here in the local region of New England, not just in the United States, but that people from across the world will want to come and live in our Commonwealth, because we've got the right formula going, and we're making it a great state. Thank you very much, and Mike, thank you for your endorsement. I appreciate it very much, because you've been an experienced leader here in town. People respect you. Everybody we speak to here in town just says that the leadership you demonstrated while you were chairman of the Board of Selectmen was fantastic and helped Chelmsford promote itself and become a much better town.
Happy to support you, Paul.
Thank you. Eric, a new generation of leadership.
Thanks, Paul.
And it is really great having you on board. And it's great that you're going to be here now as a young guy, moving on and helping taking care of the town and working across the district too. So again, I do appreciate your support. And to Chelmsford, thank you very much. The 2nd Middlesex District, all you folks out there, I appreciate your support. I ask for your vote on 4 November. Thank you very much.